Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. So today I'm on Cleeve Common. I'm going for a walk. I'm fitting it in around about lunchtime, so I've probably got about 2 hours up here, and the aim is to just document my walk. So I'm not really about getting one single shot, but trying to tell a story with a number of shots. And I'm going to use my kind of technique that I've learned to really kind of focus on improving my composition. So what is that? Well, there's a saying I've heard, I'm not sure how true it is, but if your photo looks rubbish in black and white, it's probably a bad photo. So the aim is actually to shoot in black and white. Even if you don't actually process it in black and white, you shoot in black and white and then colorise it in post-production. And try and get the photo and composition looking good in camera in black and white. So shooting camera raw, and you basically colorise it afterwards, so you focus on the composition, not necessarily just the colours. Probably doesn't work in every situation, so if you're trying to shoot very colourful sunsets, or your photography is very much about shooting certain colours, probably doesn't work quite as well. But it is a useful trick to try something new and work out kind of new compositions. And to be honest, a day like today with lots of contrast, photos would probably look better in black and white. So let's see. So firstly, let's have a look around, see what kind of location I am at for shooting today. So if I turn you around, so it's a lot of green. There's a lot of green here. So on the side of the escarpment of the Cotswolds, so we're quite high up, and then out there we've got the Severn Valley of Malvern Hills out in the distance. And so we've got some nice clear blue sky. Some quite interesting cloud formations, which is good. But the location itself has got lots of paths and leading lines, and quite a lot of rolling hills with a few trees. So I want to try and use those paths and leading lines as much as possible, and just walk around and do a bit of a loop and see what I find, and try and tell a bit of a story and create a series of images, but shooting in black and white and colorising them later in post-production. Because I found that when I've shot in these conditions before, I've tended to get results I was quite happy with, all things considered. So let's go. Okay, I've got another possible composition here. So I want to use those leading lines there, that path out leading out to that tree, and try and use the bend of that tree. It's a lot of green in it, probably a horizontal portrait crop. So yeah, see what this looks like. So I've decided to come down kind of lower than the escarpment, mainly just to explore, to see if there's anything I can do interesting wise with the rocks. And we do have a road just down there, which I have just taken a shot of. So again, today it's very much all about leading lines at the moment. No kind of foreground interest other than the leading line. There's a couple of birds flying around, so yeah, you definitely can't see that bird, but what I might try and do is if I can get a bird in an interesting position with an interesting composition, it just adds a little bit more to the scene. But I'm not going to wait around for hours waiting for a bird in a particular place, and I'm not going to bother photoshopping one in today. I've only ever done that once, and it was a bird at that scene. It wasn't just some random bird. It wasn't like an albatross in the Cotswolds or anything like that. It was actually a bird that was flying around from that scene. But generally, I prefer to get the shot as it is. So I'm going to explore just up there. I think the clouds coming across that rock are quite interesting. Let's see what I can get. Now I'm up here, not that keen. It's quite a messy scene. These rocks are quite messy. I don't really like those trees that are sticking out. If I had a different lens and a wider lens, I could probably try and work something, but I'm limited with my focal length today. And yeah, maybe if I walk around a bit, I'll spot something. But let's keep moving. Today, again, it's all about moving, getting what's there, moving on. Let's see if I can get 10 reasonable images telling a story. So I could put one Instagram reel up. Reel? Not reel, carousel. Because that apparently gets a little bit more impressions. Not that it actually matters, because I'm not selling anything at the moment. Just being a bit careful on this track. Pay attention to where I'm walking. I don't want to end up rolling down there. Seems to be a common theme on this channel so far, is cliffs and cliff edges. Happy days. Right. Again, not really sure I'm going to do much here, but what the hell is that? Very odd. If you know what it is and why it's there, post them in the comments below. You might be the second person to ever comment on my channel. And that is prize in itself. So I'm about an hour in now. I need to start thinking about heading back to the car, actually doing a school run. So I've just getting to the two kind of composition points. One of them is a kind of set of two trees where I've probably got one of my favourite shots I've ever taken. Actually one of the only photos I've actually got printed. And I'll show you an image of that on screen. Very different conditions to today. But yeah, so I'm going to head down there to those trees there. So there might be a composition there today, and then heading up to the memorial tree up there, and then I think that's going to be it. Scoot back to the car, make some lunch. Still can past if you're interested, and if you're not, I should have said cover your ears. Oh well, let's go. So let's go through my thought process. These are the trees, so this is broadly the composition I'm getting. I've got two trees kind of almost like leaning on each other. There is a third tree, I think it's a younger sapling. I believe there used to be three big trees and one of them got blown over. I might be wrong on that. And we've got two benches in the middle. So I think today what I want to try and get is maybe a bit of a colour from the purple of these thistles, and I think the trees are going to be the main subject, with the kind of supporting subjects of these thistles, and the sky in the background as the kind of supporting subject as well. So it's all about showing the location. But I think I could really have done with a wider lens on, and I'm not sure how far back I can go with composition, because I've got another load of trees here. But I might be able to use some of these leaves to maybe frame that. So let's see what I can get. Let's see. But I kind of want to cover that third tree up, because I think it's a little bit of a distraction. But yeah, let's have a go. So I've ended up much further back than expected, but that's probably worked out a bit better because I've got a bit more kind of interest in the thistles. But it's quite tricky with that tree in the way. So yeah, it's okay. See how it kind of comes out in post. I think once it's edited it might look a bit a bit better, because obviously black and white's great. We've got a strong subject, but I think it's the colour of the sky and probably the colour of the light as well is going to make it a little bit. But I think probably need to accentuate the colours I've got, and see what it looks like. Okay, heading to the next little bit. Probably quite a decent shot here. Again, I like the clouds, like the path leading up. It's got some bloke in the way of the shot at the moment, but if he moves in the right way, it could add a bit more interest. So, place away, take the shot. Okay, so I think we're done now. I want to head back to the car. It's a bit more across the plain now. There's less shots really to be had, particularly with the lens I've got. So I've got about 20 minutes to get back to the car. So that's the plan. So what's to say? Today successful? It probably was for what I wanted to do photography wise. I'm not sure it's going to be a fantastic video, because I think I'm trying to demonstrate that shooting in black and white can improve your composition. But I think I've fallen a little bit into a trap today of shooting for shooting's sake, and a lot of the photos are kind of I've taken are probably fallen into a trap of what's it actually a photo of. It's not necessarily a strong subject. So I think that's one of the things. I think one other lesson today is probably, I'm not sure I've got the right lens for today. I've definitely found, I did toy with being a 50mm rather than a 35mm, and there's a couple of shots early on where I thought I really need that extra reach of 50mm. So early on I thought, yeah, I definitely need a longer focal length, and then more recently, the last couple of shots I've been frustrated because I probably needed a wider focal length. But that is one of the challenges of taking out a kind of single kind of prime lens. One, it kind of forces you to shoot in a particular way, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. Because the reality is, you can't go out and shoot bangers, God, I'm like Peter McKinnon now. You can't go out and shoot bangers every time you go shooting. And I think if you kind of equate, say, photography to, say, running or cycling or other kind of fitness and competitive sports, you don't just race, you also train. Actually, most of the time you're training. And I think a good training program has a mix of different kind of adaptations. So sometimes you work at a really high intensity to push something called VO2 max. Sometimes it's a slightly lower intensity but at a kind of threshold level. And then sometimes it's a lot of what you call zone 2, which is kind of easy running. And I think photography can be the same actually. Sometimes you just need to go out and work on a particular thing. And I think it's always good to have an aim. But today it was a case of just practicing composition, shooting in light I don't normally shoot in, and to be honest, getting outside, getting some exercise, getting some fresh air, and not spending my life stuck behind a desk. So hopefully today's video probably inspired you to get out a little bit more. Hopefully you might have learned something, you can hopefully go away and try something. And I think what I'll do is I'll probably do a second video to this, or maybe append it onto the end of this video, showing how I kind of process these photos. I'll probably do it as a separate video because I've probably got enough content, and I tend to find my videos so far, bear in mind I've only had 2, tend to be a little bit too long and particularly be a bit rambling, particularly the second one. About 25 minutes long and took a long time to get to the point. Probably the same as what I'm doing right now. So have fun, get out, get some shots, and I'll see you in the next one. Out.